Okay, how's it going, guys? It's been a little bit. Haven't really seen. Well, I saw some stuff, but I just didn't really feel like reviewing it, to be honest. But this warrants review. Today we went and saw The Raid 2. The Raid, if you don't know, which I don't suppose many of you don't know, I guess, is a sequel to 2011's The Raid, which is probably one of the best action movies to come out in years. It is phenomenal. And then it's semi-remake Dread. But The Raid 2, Berandal. So yeah, what'd you think?
I thought it was an excellent movie.
Why? What?
It was just a really good action movie.
Okay, so for me, I don't know how strongly you feel about this. I personally thought this is the best action movie I have seen in probably my entire life. This, I don't know. What do you think? Do you?
I would definitely say, at least in recent memory.
Yeah.
It's beautifully violent and brutal. The choreography, the fight choreography is outstanding. The cinematography, or not cinematography, but like camera work was
this movie is
mind blowing.
Like it's just fucking amazing. Every part of this is just fucking amazing. The action scenes, like, this takes everything about The Raid and just, like, turns it up to 11. The action scenes are fucking incredible, and they're filmed insanely. So many, like, one-shots and just long takes of just fucking brutal violence, and it is just unrelenting. This movie will, like, you'll just, like, have your fists clenched for the entire thing, and by the end, it's just, like, you take the first, like, sigh of relief. Like, it is this no-holds-bar, adrenaline, fucking crazy. I don't know. I was so overwhelmed the entire time watching this. I honestly think that the director, Gareth Evans, something like that, I think he's one of the best directors of modern day. The fact that he said he's never going to do a studio movie makes me happy, because this thing was made for, like, no money still, and it is just absolutely incredible. For me, this is the Godfather 2 of this generation. I honestly think this is just so much better than anything that has come out in recent memory. I don't know, you're really big into, like, crime movies and, like, mob movies. What?
It was a good blend of kind of martial arts action and like a crime thriller.
Yeah, this had a really interesting, like, crime story, and, like, where The Raid was just kind of like, it had like a thread of story, like, just linking a bunch of action set pieces. This one is kind of like that, but the story is, like, just fucking interesting as hell. It is an incredible crime saga.
Yeah, you're not like, come on, get to the next fight scene. You're interested and you're paying attention to.
I mean, this movie's, like, borderline almost 3 hours. I think it's like it's like 165 minutes, something like that. And there would be scenes where it'd go 30 minutes without a fight scene. And it's just, like, people talking and backstory and, like, getting to know these characters. And I was just, like, totally involved the entire time.
And it was really well paced too. The non-action sequences, they didn't drag on too long, and the action sequences were just the right length and just perfect.
It just...
Each one topping the previous. And
the characters, like, the characters and acting in this was incredible. Especially, this is one of those, like, crime movies where it makes every bad character likable. So when, like, bad characters are doing bad things and you should be, like, hating them, like, you still kind of like them. Like, without spoiling anything, one of the main bad guys is so likable. Like, in the end, you don't know whether to, like, root for this character or, like, want them dead, which is crazy because they do bad things. But they're so likable and charismatic, and I mean, the whole movie is in Indonesian, and it's subtitled, and there is some English too, which was a little jarring to me. It just, like, went, there's a scene in particular where it just, like, went from being Indonesian to English, and I like, my brain hadn't, like, stopped reading subtitles yet, and I was like, what the fuck? Like,
where's the subtitle?
But it was just absolutely phenomenal, and like you said, like, so well paced. I didn't get bored the whole time. Like,
long movie, not a dull moment.
No, this takes fucking everything in The Raid and turns it up to 11, and God, I mean, there were fucking people, everyone in the theater is, like, screaming and clapping and cheering, and the fights, it's like watching, like, Mortal Kombat. Like, this is, like, the perfect Mortal Kombat movie, and there's boss fights, and just, like, so much violence, and it's a really great mixture of, like, martial arts violence, of just brutal, like, hand-to-hand combat violence. Like, I mean, there's Tai Chi in there. There's some judo, and it's just insane. And then the car chase, which is my favorite thing in the entire movie. How would you describe that?
Indescribable.
The car chase,
Indescribably awesome.
The car chase in this is the most fucking phenomenal car chase I have ever seen. It is this pulse-pounding, fucking shoot-'em-up, hand-to-hand combat, destruction car chase I have ever seen in my entire life.
Do you remember that the scene in I Saw the Devil?
Yeah.
Where the serial killers are fighting in the car?
Yeah.
And the camera's spinning around? That's what that reminded me of.
Yeah.
The fight scenes in the car.
There's, like, it's like a car chase, and there's, like, 4 things going on at once. There's, like, 4 different, like, groups of people fighting. So you have, like, people with guns shooting at each other and, like, ramming cars. And you have fucking people on motorcycles. And then you have the main character, Rama, who's, like, in a car, like, just beating the shit out of people. And it is just absolutely fucking crazy. And I have never heard a crowd of people, because the midnight screening tonight, the crowd was full, and I've never heard a group of people, like, just, like, go ape shit after the scene was over. Like, there was just clapping and applause, and it was like the movie had just ended. It was just absolutely fucking fantastic. Like I said, I really do believe this is the Godfather 2 of our generation. I think it is the perfect crime movie. The director is phenomenal. We've seen that he is phenomenal, and this thing fucking had the longest production ever. Like, there is no way in any kind of American anything he could get that. Like, this thing shot for over 120 days. Like, just getting all this right. I know he almost died on set too, and it just, fuck, this movie was incredible.
Well, shit. There's a lot of just beautifully choreographed fights. I could imagine they need to take their time.
But I don't know. I'm gonna give the Raid 2 Berandal a 10 out of 10. What do you?
I'm gonna give it a 9.7. Just because my one gripe with the movie, if I had to, and this is just nitpicking, because, you gotta have something there. One of the characters in particular is very interesting, and he's just kind of not really fleshed out as well as I would have liked him to. He shows up, and then as quickly as he shows up, he's gone, and it's kind of like, I wish he was, because they brought him into the movie, they made him interesting, and then took him out, and I just wish he had a little bit more development, a little more screen time, a little bit more relevance in the bigger picture.
Definitely. That character, and when you see this movie, you will understand. We're not spoiling anything right now.
And I mean, he was relevent.
You're incredibly relevant.
There was a point to what happens, but
that just, like, for me, like, solidifies the director's skill, because they bring in a character and he's not in it for very long. He's in it for, like, 4 scenes. Mm-hmm. And by the end of that 4th scene, you care about this character, and, like, you get, like, an ounce of its backstory. But, like, I was like, don't, like, this character, like, I cared about him and I felt for him, and then they take him out of the movie, and it just is insane. And I have that little gripe, but I'm not going to take. I'm still going to do 10 out of 10
because his plight is purposeful in the film, but at the same time the character is kind of just there, and then he's gone, and he was too cool, too interesting of a character to kind of just be in there so quickly, and it was just, for me, I'm just like, I don't. It felt weird. Only gripe, only thing I didn't like.
So yeah.
Small thing.
The Raid 2, I gave it a 10 out of 10. He gave it a 9.7. In my opinion, it is the best action movie in years. This is up there. I fucking just saw this, and I put it up there with, like, Terminator and Aliens as just, like, one of the best fucking action movies. Like, this will go down, I feel like, in history as one of the best action movies ever. It is absolutely incredible. fantastic crime saga. It comes out today. It sucks if you don't get this in your theater, but if you do, go fucking watch The Raid because it is absolutely fucking spectacular. Follow me on Twitter down below. Links right down there. Bunch of cool stuff going on. And I'll see you later, guys. So, have a good one. Go watch The Raid. It's fucking awesome.